yes, let's focus on my new career.
Yes. So, because of your imminent listener, I know we're not in the show yet, but you all were asked 2 weeks hence to provide vibes, and ye old vibes hath borne fruit, as is foretold in the Bible.
Yes. Yes. Time is a flat circle. Every point in time is happening all at once. So thank you guys for the vibes that you will send me. They have been fruitful.
Yeah. So Kelly has in the past moved to
Oh God, I have, haven't I?
It's already happened. Yeah.
It's already happened. I'm in
You're
San Francisco.
You sound very much like you're in mountain time, but
yeah, well,
I fully believe, I think suspension of disbelief is the most important aspect of podcasting, right? Because
and life in general.
Well, two things. I mean, obviously the listeners think that we're preeminent experts in every single thing we talk about, which is not technically true. So we're doing a little bit
technically false.
No, we're doing a little bit of theater, but we're also doing a lot of bit of learning together.
Yeah. Yeah.
The listeners also can kind of believe that we're dressed however they want, right? They don't have any idea what maybe they don't even know what we look like.
I'm a black hole.
Yes. And I'm a crab nebula.
But now I'm wearing a trolley conductor uniform.
Yeah. So you're gonna drive a trolley.
Yeah.
To the
choo-choo, motherfucker.
To the rice-a-roni factory, where you will produce pilaf, the best product in the rice-a-roni line, I think, hands down. Right?
Okay.
We're gonna peel off some deliciousness.
I'm also gonna bake sourdough.
Yeah. You're gonna make sourdough. You're gonna make perfect sourdough orbs, and you're going to send them down the curvaceous Lombard Street.
Yep. That's we actually bake them square, and then you roll them down the street, and it's like a rock tumbler. That's how they get so round.
People frequently forget that the major scene in Vertigo, where Jimmy Stewart is driving down Lombard Street in a sort of slow speed chase, he is slowed specifically because of the sourdough rounding business that's going on.
People think it's tumbleweeds. No. Sourdough.
Yeah, some will say tumbleweed by mistake because they don't know that it's not wheat bread.
It's not wheat bread. There's still wheat in it, right? Though.
I mean,
still flour.
Yeah.
Right.
It's got the growing stuff though. Yeah.
All the yeast.
Yeah. Because the sourdough starter is just the specific kind of sourdough yeasty.
Yeah, and
organism,
you feed it.
Right?
You feed it. Yeah.
Yeah. Cats.
Yep.
Men.
It's like Alf.
That's fun. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, pivot. We got to start a sourdough business.
Okay.
San Francisco's kind of big for that anyway.
Yeah.
Let's start an important 21st century competing sourdough business.
Yep.
It's Alf bread.
Okay.
All of the bread is Alf shaped, the most appetizing shape that could ever exist.
We're going to need to find a different street to tumble it into that shape.
It's true. Yeah.
I'll search for it when I'm driving my trolley route. I'll find it.
Yeah, I was trying to think of any that I could remember from times I've been to San Francisco. Maybe it's just like maybe they just get rolled through Golden Gate Park, you know?
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
Kind of take it from the Palace of Fine Arts down to Haight-Ashbury. Like if we get
that'll work.
If we get from the Palace down to the Amoeba Records there.
You've
done it. You've done your job. That's gonna be round. That's gonna be round bread.
You can just roll it on down to Visadero, and it'll come out Alf shaped.
Perfect. Yes, and thank you because that was literally the street name I was trying to pluck out of my brain.
Yeah, I was like, I can name a bunch of streets because I've looked at the map so much these last few weeks.
Yeah, you're fully immersed. You live there in your
there.
mind.
Yeah, I do.
You know,
so for a long time, one of my best friends has lived out there. His name is Matt, and we do a bit where we're constantly yelling at each other to move here. So he'll call me and just be like, "Move here," and I'll be like, "Okay, on my way." And now I'm on my way.
Now you've done it.
Now I've done it, and we were like, "What are we going to do with this bit? This is a time-honored bit. We've already figured it out. Now he calls me and goes, "You live here." So-
I was I was gonna suggest that you could start playing online chess against each other, and then you could say, "Move here."
oh, oh, that's. I love this bit. I love the concept of this bit. I will not be learning chess
No,
for it.
that's fine. You could do it with online checkers too.
Maybe Clue. We could do Clue.
Yeah, there you
There
go.
we go. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. 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 Perfect. Perfect. Time honored. I love it. Congratulations from
Thanks.
me and from every listener
Thanks,
on
guys.
finding your spot. You got a cute
Finally.
little spot.
It's cute.
And for the listener, we're just going to go ahead and put your address on blast now. You're now living at
666.
redacted.
Zoom got like almost none of that on my
Yeah,
end.
yeah, I know. I'm sure it didn't do anything, so that's too bad. I'll just cut it out. It's fine. Ahoy, listeners! This
Ahoy!
is Debut Buddies. It's a fortnightly podcast about firsts. My name is Nate, and I'm one of the buddies.
And I'm Kelly. I'm the other buddy.
And listener, this week, get excited because we're going to talk about something that goes up and down. And some people think it's exhilarating. Some people would line up and pay to have it happen to them. And others, terrified to the point of vomiting. And no, I'm not talking about this economy, nor am I talking about the American political climate or experience of being alive. No, no, no. We're talking about the first roller coaster. The first roller coaster. So let's start, my dear buddy Kelly,
Yeah.
talking about what roller coasters mean to you. Are you a roller coaster person?
I used to be.
Okay.
I don't know if I am anymore because I have aged tremendously since my last roller coaster, which was probably high school.
Sure.
So it's been a minute. But I loved them as a kid. So fun, even though I do sometimes get motion sick on them. But you just have to power through.
Yeah. I mean, you have really only two options.
Yeah,
yeah. One is to power through, or the other is to let it fly.
Barf.
And maybe and try to get your friend to yell so the people behind you can at least cover their faces.
I've never barfed on a ride. I don't think I've ever barfed because of a ride either. I think I've just gotten like, okay, I'm gonna need to sit down for a minute, maybe drink a lemonade.
Yeah.
Type of situation.
The whatever, like the rock and roll one, whatever the thing is where it brings you up and then it like drops you and swings you. And
Yeah. The big like, it's just like a boat that swings.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
kinds of things where they really kind of like swing you back and forth fast enough that your stomach drops. That one's gotten me a few times. But yeah.
You've actually thrown up?
Oh no, not thrown up,
okay.
but to what your experience of just
Yeah,
really
yeah.
needing to sit down. Beyond that, like yeah, I liked. Okay, when I was a little kid, I was terrified of roller coasters.
Oh yeah.
And the beauty of
All of them?
oh yeah.
Okay.
Like there were a few things that were kind of like roller coaster adjacent that I would ride, but
Yeah.
only when I had one of my parents with me. And some of that
Aw.
was also because I literally was never tall enough to ride the rides until I was like,
Aw.
I'm going to say 14 or 15 years old. It took me a
Yeah,
while to
yeah.
get above the like 4'9" threshold, 4'10"
Yeah.
threshold to
Well, boys get their
board them.
growth spurt later than girls do.
Yeah. So I don't know. I was always kind of down on them. I didn't really like roller coasters. Then there was a window of time in high school into my early 20s where roller coasters it was fun. It was like, oh, cool. We're going to go,
fun.
let's go to Elitch's, which was the name of the amusement park in Denver that we would go to from time to time. And it was in that heady era when you could bring an empty can of Pepsi that had a coupon on it and get like $12 off, and then with your student ID suddenly you were in the park for like $5.50.
Hell yeah.
And you were just enjoying like being hot, sweating, standing in line, and having 3 or 4 fun experiences over the course of 8 hours. It was great.
Man, that is the thing about amusement parks, huh?
Oh,
You're
yeah.
just on asphalt all day. So sweaty. I was more of a fair girly, which is like That's where you're going to get the big boat that just swings and maybe you do one loop de loop.
Yeah.
You're going to get rickety ass rides, not so much roller coasters though.
No, we have a carnival that always happens here during the Italian festival that
Ooh.
happens in late June. And it's very much, there's kind of a multi-purpose field that's got a baseball field and soccer field vibe, whatever, that's next to
Yeah.
one of the elementary schools on
Is
the
this
other
just
side of
called like
town.
the fairgrounds?
It's not even, I think it's just on the campus of the Catholic school slash
Oh, sure.
cathedral.
Man, are they getting money when you go
Well, yeah.
ride these rides? Man, fuck that. Pay taxes. Okay,
Well,
go
I
on.
mean, they hire the ride people. So I don't know
Oh,
how
okay.
they're
This is
bookkeeping. Like,
this is
this is impossible
Catholicism
to tell.
sanctioned.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think kids should be there. Go on.
So, so they have the kind of assemblage of rides that you're describing as a fair experience, right? Where it's like,
Yeah.
okay, there's some midway games. There's ways that you
Mm.
can win Mr. Meeseeks from Rick and Morty,
Oh yeah, Rick and Morty.
or whatever, like horrifying looking pillow monsters that I don't know
Yeah.
what, like it is endearing that such not franchise connected objects exist that people are actually winning as prize and be like, yeah, cool, I got a nondescript
I got
duck.
I love a duck.
Yeah,
I just
I mean,
packed my duck today. I'm
the
not kidding. I have a little paper mache duck.
aw,
Got packed.
that's great.
Yeah.
We've got real
Um,
ducks in the park that are they're just
oh,
hanging out now.
love that.
They love it. They're living on the pond. There's a duck couple. So I'm just
They're gonna be
excited
ducklings.
that I bet there's gonna be ducklings in a few weeks.
Yes. Yes.
Little yellow fluffy guys paddling along.
I'm so
It's gonna be cute.
excited.
It's gonna be very
I'm
cute.
so excited to learn more.
I will take photos and video if they will allow it.
Okay, yeah,
I'm
gotta
gonna have
ask for
to
their
bring.
consent.
Yeah, I need to take the appropriate forms.
Yep.
I need to
Have
find
their lawyer talk to your lawyer.
well, there's the special pens for webbed feet.
Oh,
I gotta
that's
do the
right,
whole
yeah.
thing. We gotta
Yeah,
make
yeah,
sure
yeah.
it's above board,
Just
especially
like an ink
for the
pad for them
podcast.
to like.
Yes.
Stamp.
Now we're talking, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Plus, it'll allow
Duck
me to
safe.
keep
Duck
that
safe
duck
ink.
database,
Yeah.
right? Because they're duck crime, and we're just
There's duck
looking out
crime.
for people. We're just looking out for
Yeah.
the victims of duck crime.
Great. ACAB includes Nate.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Have I ever told you about the time I got stuck on a roller coaster?
No.
So this would have been maybe 8th or ninth grade, and I was in the school choir, and we were invited to sing over the holiday season at Silver Dollar City in Branson, Missouri. A little amusement park and roller coasters, a couple of them.
Branson is the country Christian Vegas, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
precisely. Yes,
Excellent.
that's right. And my choir sang there. Such an honor. I got a pressed penny and everything.
Wow. They
yep.
they didn't even pay you with the actual penny. They gave you one that they had spent money on to devalue and make not
No,
currency.
no. Let me be clear. I spent 26 cents to buy a pressed penny.
I always think that's funny because it's like that machine. I think that machine pays for itself pretty quickly, and then
Oh, yeah.
there's a lot of profit happening that you're getting 25 cents for every
Yeah,
penny
yeah.
that you
For every
crank
penny.
out. They don't provide anything. You're doing maintenance.
Mm-mm.
Like, come on.
No, it's a racket, but you know, when you're 13, I don't even think I thought it was cool. I think I was like, this is stupid. I'll just do this. Look
Yeah.
at this. I don't know. I probably was like too awkward to talk to anybody. So I was like, here's an activity I can do alone.
I love the idea of as a teenager because I feel like this is a thing that I did too. Just, oh, that's stupid. I'll do it because it's stupid.
I still am like that. Like if I go to, for example, this is what gets me most commonly. I'll go to a brewery or a bar and I'm like, that drink sounds terrible. I'll take one. Oh, that sounds gross as hell. I have to try it.
This has coriander and duck confit in a
Wow,
beer.
gross.
Give it
I'll
a
take
go.
one.
Yeah.
Ordered a full, what's the pour at a bar? 16 ounce
Yeah. A pint.
pickle beer
Oh,
not too long
I
ago.
mean that actually sounds pretty good though. But I like
See,
pickles.
that's
I'm
sort
a
of what I
pickle
thought.
person.
I love a pickle. I'm a pickle girly.
Uh-huh.
It was so disgusting to the point that when the bartender came over and was like, "How do you like it?" I couldn't even lie. I was like, "It's gross." She offered me something else, and I was like, "No, no, I did this to myself.
Yeah.
Waste not, want not. I'll finish it. I just tell your brewer
Yeah. He should be
it's
ashamed of
gross.
himself. This is an
is
abomination.
this is yucky."
Okay. Branson, pennies,
Yeah,
choir.
so I'm at Silver Dollar City. I have my penny, and
Ironic too that you have a penny from Silver Dollar City. Like,
not
come
even
on,
pressed dollars.
drop a JFK coin on me. Then we're in
Yeah,
Silver
come
Dollar City. Well,
on.
we're in Silver Half Dollar
Come
City.
on.
Eisenhower. Never mind. Go ahead.
So it's beautiful, but it's December in Missouri, so it's cold. It's
It's
not like
miserable.
it truly is, and we've sung our performance. They lit the Christmas tree. It's night. It's dark, and they're holding the rides open a little late so that the choir kids can ride them. And we board our little roller coaster, and we're on the we're like halfway through the coast ing
Yeah.
and there's an incline, and so we're on the like click 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 as it pulls us up the incline, and then it stops, and we're like, ooh, building tension, and then it stays stopped, and we're like, we get it, the tension, okay, we're tense, ooh, you got us. And then we hear over a bullhorn. It started to snow, and so we can't operate the ride. We have to wait until it stops snowing. And we're like, what if it doesn't stop?
Yeah.
What if it doesn't stop? What if it doesn't stop?
Isn't, I mean, because it's winter
It's winter.
and storms can last hours in my
Yeah,
experience.
are we just like, is the headline of the newspaper of the like Branson Star tomorrow gonna be like, Rogers, Arkansas choir, entire choir freezes to death on Branson roller coaster?
Now,
Like,
okay,
what's
but hear me
the
out.
deal?
If that happened, are you eating your other
I'd
choir
be-
members?
No, I'd probably volunteer to go.
You're like, take me.
Don't
will.
take me.
I will try to die first, so you can eat me.
Honestly, that'd be really funny, in my opinion.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm not trying to go home anyway, so
So they're okay. So their contingency plan for there's an incident that could endanger the riders is not like, oh, well, we
Stop.
have a way to slowly bring the thing in so that these people cannot be in the snowstorm themselves.
Yeah.
We just leave them there until the
They just
weather
left
stops.
us.
Like if there was a tornado, do they just go like, we can't operate
Well,
the thing in a tornado, so you just
man,
if it hits you, sorry.
tough shit. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they ended up having to bring us down backwards. So I wonder if it was a situation like maybe going backwards causes damage, and so they stop you to see if the weather gets better. And if not, we have to tow you in backwards. I can't really remember.
That makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
and in fairness, right? Like if the track starts to get icy,
slick, it was the problem.
Yeah, the thing is all of this is based so much on like speeds being consistent and controlled. Otherwise, like
Yeah.
bad things can happen.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, definitely it was a safety precaution, but we were like, what do you mean? And like, I don't know how long we were up there. In my memory, it was weeks, but that doesn't seem right. It was probably like 20 minutes.
I also now want a Ken Burns style letter writing sort of thing. You're just like, dear
Dear
Charles,
Martha.
we've been on this damned coaster for weeks.
Or like an Alive style dramatization, like
Yeah.
the soccer team that got stuck in the Andes, but it's the choir kids who got stuck in Branson.
It's perfect. I mean, Lord of the Flies. Like, you guys could have taken
Yeah.
over the roller coaster,
We could have
created
we
a
could
provincial
have.
government based entirely on who was the strongest / could sing high C, and that would be it.
Oh
it's like
man, I
literally
never
the
would have
plot of Lord of the
ranked.
Flies is a choir capsizes on an island.
Were they a choir?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I
Yeah,
love
because
that.
the kid that decides he's the de facto leader says, "Oh, I can sing above high C, so I should be the one who leads us."
Oh man, that's so funny.
Yeah,
And I probably read it that year. That's so interesting.
yeah. I mean, it speaks to the fact that your English teacher, and no hate on them, but they didn't make the connections for you that to have that resonate. Because if
Yeah.
you really read Lord of the Flies and got it, you should have been in that situation like, "Oh fuck, this is Lord of the Flies." We're gonna be
Oh,
someone's gonna
maybe it
have
was
to
the
rule
next
this
year.
wooden iron mountain,
Oh man.
this Russian mountain
Huh.
specifically.
There you
Because
go.
let's talk about the history of roller coasters.
Yes, it's so interesting.
It kind of is. It both is and isn't.
Yeah, I mean, that's how a lot of things that grow slowly over time
Yeah,
are.
yeah. I mean, this is one of those things where it's like, okay, cool. So basically, there was an idea, there were iterations on said idea, and then we'll get to the fun part where just like really boring people who don't like horniness
Yeah.
are like, I could use that idea for something.
How can I use this to my ends?
Which a follow-up question about the choir, like,
Yeah.
what age was that choir?
I mean, we would have been 14, 15.
Okay. So yeah, so the Branson people are putting you on that roller coaster after you got an adrenaline bump from just performing. And they're like,
Oh, yeah.
we don't want these kids to start fooling around. Put them on
Oh
the
my
roller
God.
coaster.
That's so true. All girl choir, though.
I
So
stand by
fooling
my
around,
assertion.
still a possibility. I don't think that it was one that people in Branson, Missouri in the early 2000s were worried about.
Sure. Yeah.
They had been very clear not to mention homosexuality
Hair
in the
braiding and
public
pillow fights,
schools.
the sort of normal things that all young women participate in, but nothing
Yeah,
else.
yeah.
Yeah, because those things don't exist. They didn't, and
They
they
don't
certainly don't
exist.
now. So, I
Nope.
mean, everything's fine.
Everything's fine and chaste and heterosexual.
That's right. That's right. And we all refer to each other by our first names because pronouns are abolished.
Exactly.
Roller coasters. So
Fun.
we're gonna hop in the debut buddies Wayback Machine and go to the 16th century. That puts you
That's
in
my
the
favorite one.
1500s. Yeah, it's a pretty good time, right?
Yeah.
We're in between. We're sandwiched between Columbus's genocidal march into the West and a bunch of the people who were real fancy involved with these roller coasters being rounded up into the basement of their own home and shot to death. Just right in the
Hooray!
middle. So it's the 16th century, and the oldest roller coasters are called Russian mountains because they literally were building these sort of sledding hills that were multi-mountainous and
I
then
love
were
it.
fortified with some sort of structure. And so you would just go up there in the winter and you would have like a whoop-de-woo, kind of ride it up, ride it
So
down,
fun.
have a fun time. It's really very simple and brilliant. And it almost begs the question of to what degree it's an invention when it's like, hey, I found a slope that was slick and then I let my body go down it. I made a thing.
Well, did they invent the toboggan?
I found no research to corroborate their
No,
invention of
me
the
either.
toboggan. But if they
I think
did,
it's the shoring up structures,
yes,
which were specifically wooden. I think that that's an important detail to call out
it's true. They were wooden.
because of what happens later.
They lacked acting range, and yet they got a lot of
Yes.
parts anyway because they were pretty.
I'm talking Hayden Christensen. Did
Yeah.
I get his name right?
You sure did.
Hell yeah.
I hate roller coasters. They're
So coarse.
fast and coarse, and the riders get everywhere.
So not horny.
So not horny.
Spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers for 10 minutes from now, probably when we get to that. So you got these Russian mountains. You've got this this guy named John Collier Jones who starts constructing ice hills in the St. Petersburg area. It was not called St. Petersburg at the time. It was called whatever it was before that. But I don't remember which name it used to have.
No, I'm trying so hard because I'm pretty sure that it's mentioned in Natasha Pierre and the Great Comet of 1812, my very favorite musical of all time, but I can only remember the line where they do call it St. Petersburg. So, can't help you.
Yeah, yeah. So he's building these things, and they start building fancier and fancier versions of the slide. They're like between 70 to 80 feet high and have 50-degree drops. So you're cruising, right? That's pretty fast.
That's pretty fast. And to just be like raw dogging it, like
Yeah.
no mechanical anything, you're just going for it. That's a lot.
Yeah, no, most of the time, like you're just holding on to the biggest
50-degree
turnip you can
drop?
find and riding it
Yeah.
down. And then by the time 1784 rolls around, so this is almost 100 years later, Catherine the Great, who
Yeah.
notably pretty great,
Yeah.
also pretty scary, but pretty great.
Two things can be true.
You know, yeah. She's the subject of a show called The Great that was pretty great.
It's on my list.
You should check it out. It's fun. It's got your favorite boy in it. Well,
I know,
not your
I
favorite
love
boy,
him.
but one of your favorite boys.
He's one of my favorite boys.
Yeah, he's high on the boy list.
Nicholas Holt.
Holt. Nick Holt.
Cutie patootie.
Yeah.
Nick Holt.
Nick Holt. And one of the Fannings. L? L.
Yes.
Yes.
L. Yeah.
L.
Yeah. Baby Fanning.
The baby Fanning.
Yeah.
So Catherine the Great takes this and has a huge hill constructed in the gardens of her palace at Oranienbaum in St. Petersburg. I hope that that was close to the proper pronunciation.
You crushed
is
it, in
what
my
it is.
opinion.
It is what it is. This craze starts to take off. Everybody's loving these Russian mountains. So there's a thing called the Riding Mountain, which is also known as La Grande Glissade, that is in the
Ooh.
entertainment pavilion, designed by Bartolomeo Francesco Rastrelli for Tsarskoye Selo Royal Residence.
You're
That-
doing such a good job.
This is fun. There's a lot of consonants in places where they may or may not belong. So that was built in mid 1700s, and there was another one, or no, the general term for them is Katalnaya Gora, is I believe the Russian for mountain for riding, is what they would call them.
Wow, that is on the nose, huh?
Yeah,
Let's not mess around. Like later on when in America they call them like pleasure gravity or whatever.
right. Yeah, I think mountain for riding is really leaning into like, no, this is
It's a
for
mountain.
horniness.
For writing.
But it's
You're
also
so
like-
right. Oh my God.
You can ride this mountain.
Yeah, let's get horny for it.
You see that mountain over
Let's
there?
be
That
horny.
one's not for riding. This one is.
It's like Grand Tetons.
Yeah.
Mountains are inherently horny.
They sure are. We love Earth's bosoms. We just won't protect them.
Oh, yeah. But Catherine the Great also, she had her ice slidey ones,
Yes.
but they also got it working in the summer.
Yeah, so the ice slide ones had 5 different hills that they could cover with ice, and then they would use trolleys on wheels with steel grooves mounted on wooden trails for the summer. So they basically full on invented, hey, let's do roller coasters year round, or to
Yeah.
anyone who's familiar with the concept of an alpine slide, it's basically
yes.
a lot of ski resorts where I grew up in Colorado, like they will have, oh, hey, we've got a ski slope. And then for the summertime, we have these concrete tubes that you put a little plastic, sled in, and it's got a single handbrake in the middle. And you just go down that thing. And it's just about the same as skiing, but I always enjoyed it more because skiing involves falling a lot more. And an alpine slide, you can't really
Yeah.
fall.
Yeah, I'm more of a slide. I haven't done either, but I feel confident that I would have more fun sliding than skiing.
It was always so great. I loved alpine slide.
I've seen like the GoPro videos of people riding them. It looks super fun.
Yeah, it's exhilarating, and it's one, it like a roller coaster. It's enjoyable, and it's over almost immediately. You're like,
Is it less herky jerky than roller coasters?
oh yeah, because you kind
Because
of
it's the like being thrown around that makes me get a tummy ache on roller coasters.
yeah, it's more like a bobsled kind of track from the
Yeah,
Olympics.
yeah.
Where it's
That's
like,
what it looks like.
it's designed to sort of physically, like everything's banked properly so that you're not going to go
Yeah.
flying out. You have to do really stupid things to kind of screw it up, right?
God, and I fucking would. I know that I would.
Well, I mean, it's interesting to me that I rode them. I would say I've ridden them dozens of times in my life, and
Yeah.
never once was a helmet something that was provided or required. Like
See, I need a
you just
helmet and a mouth guard. I need a mouth guard for this. I'm gonna clamp my teeth together and together and shatter them.
That's right. You don't want to do that.
No,
You need to bite
I need
down
a mouth guard.
on your special penny.
Yeah, that's what they should print.
Hell yeah. Some sort of tooth protective penny.
Yeah,
So yeah, Catherine the Great has these 5 different hills with their own roller coasters. They use a pendulum motion for inertia so that you could go to all 5 of them in one ride. So you're in this cart and you just keep going up and down. We are people, the roller coaster is happening. And it's happening in the
Yeah.
1780s.
which I also just love to imagine. Like, I love to imagine all of the centuries of roller coasters because we imagine history as so serious. So just imagine like a bunch of Victorians getting on a roller coaster.
Oh yeah. Yeah, everything
Like,
that I
that's
read
funny.
about early roller coaster experience too is like it goes like 3 miles an hour. Maybe
Yes.
4. And people are losing their minds. They're just like, "Oh my God. My horse doesn't go this fast. My feet don't go that fast. This is terrifying."
Yeah, this is well, and those early ones, including these that Catherine the Great had, the seats were sideways.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're not even facing forward. That is more scary, I think.
Well, and you're basically like on a pedal bar sort of situation,
Yeah, uh-huh.
which parallels our first subway, the sort of tube system subway, right?
right.
Where
They were sideways and
for some
being
reason
served drinks.
we used to just sort of hang out looking at each other, and now almost everything is everybody face forward. You shouldn't be looking at anything but the back of the seat in front of you.
Well, I think that there's a lot to be said about that. I think.
Oh,
Like,
sure. I mean, 1, capitalism, right? We got to wedge more humans in. 2, why would you
An
make any
individualistic
experience
society.
good? Yeah, yeah. All of these things add up to our gradual isolation.
Yeah.
And someone writing an article that's like, are roller coasters the solution to male loneliness?
They're probably a part of the problem if we're
I'm saying,
if we're keeping everybody from being horny.
right? We gotta rehornify.
We got to rehorn. Actually, maybe being too horny is part of the problem.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
Hold on. Let's rethink this.
We need to calibrate the horniness. Is really what
We
it is.
need to calibrate we need to level set the horniness.
Yeah. Somebody turn the gain up on the horniness a little too much.
Yeah.
gotta
Yeah.
get
We
back-
got to even this out.
We
We
gotta
got to
get back
level
into
it
the
out.
horniness Luff's range that everybody prefers.
Yeah.
So that ride that had the ups and downs was designed by a Russian engineer scientist named Andrei Nartov, and then an Anglican clergyman named John Glenn King visited Catherine the Great, saw these wild things, and he called them flying mountains. So we're just getting a lot of different takes
Cool.
on things. But what I think is interesting, because this ties back into what you were saying before, that there's the levity of history. There's also the parallel that I can only assume that there are millions of Russian people who are impoverished during this time and are looking upon this and being like, wait, why is this fucking bitch flying to the moon? Like, what's
Yeah.
going on? Like, what?
Yeah.
Why is this happening? This is
Because
not
this was
helping anybody.
absolutely a rich person
Yeah.
game ride. This was
This is to
was
show
not
off for your friends and have like, oh, nobody else has one of these.
right. I had a fucking mountain built.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Important
That's
question, though.
ludicrous.
To go back to Mysteries of the Unknown, Great Pyramids, there's 3 of them. It creates mountains that you could go up and down.
Oh,
Were they roller
do
coasters?
you think that it was a roller coaster?
I think it was.
Oh my god, I believe it.
Yeah.
This is I agree.
I think it makes a lot of sense. The reason why
I think
that
it
one
absolutely
sarcophagus
does.
was empty was because it just contained like basically the cart. It is maybe the cart that you ride up and
Maybe
down
it
the
was
thing.
the cart, or maybe to go back to fairs. Maybe this was like a haunted house, like you walk through the pyramids and there was like a spooky ghoul mummy
Guy in a
hiding
pharaoh
inside of
costume
it.
pops up and
Yeah.
he says, "Wow, build me another pyramid."
He's like, I want to suck your blood. Like, whatever. We
The-
cracked it.
I loved that the ancient Egyptians were the first to crack the fake Transylvanian accent too.
Yeah, well.
It all tracks. It all tracks. So roller coasters started to take off around Europe, though. So two roller coasters are built in France in 1817, Les Montagnes de Belleville, in Belleville, Paris. And they had wheels attached to carriages that were locked onto the tracks. So
Smart.
we're getting more formalized here. Then
Smart.
at Promenade Aérienne, they opened in Parc Beaujean in Paris in July of 1817. They had wheels that locked to the track and guide rails to keep them on course, and it was going faster.
How fast was this one going?
It didn't say anywhere that I could see it.
Okay.
It just said it was going faster. I'm going to guess we're talking
why-
like 5-6 miles an hour. Not
So fast.
really
Oh my
fast,
God.
but like it's a full-
Whiplash.
It's almost 50% faster.
It's faster. It's faster for sure.
You're going to notice.
Yeah, because we're still not doing like gravity drops yet.
No, something's just getting pulled along over a thing, and we have enough
Yeah.
engineering to make sure that you're kind of taking like a scenic ride that
Fine.
has some ups and downs, right? The way life does.
And the economy.
And the economy. So this spawns half a dozen more roller coasters that are similar, but market gets saturated. Everybody's like, yeah, we've done that.
One of those two was by the guy who owned the Moulin Rouge, right?
Yes. Yeah. So
Yeah.
this happens a little later. It's
Oh, sorry.
1887 when Joseph Euler, who is a co-founder of the Moulin Rouge, he's a Catalan entrepreneur, they construct Montagne Russe de Belleville. So they make the Russian mountains of Belleville.
Yes,
And this
yes, yes.
motherfucker is 656 feet of track in a double eight. And then they later enlarged it to 4 figure-8 shaped loops.
Dang.
So we're doing a lot. I mean, we're not doing like flips. We're not doing full on in the air stuff, but we're
Yeah. We're
this
just
is a longer
going
ride.
further.
Yeah. This one that the Moulin Rouge guy designed is closer to the sort of small train in the zoo that children ride.
Yes.
But
yeah.
it's bigger in scope.
Yeah.
And that takes us into the 1880s in these United States of America, where, in the wake of the American Civil War, and believing
Like, you know what I fucking need?
and believing that America is just like rushing their way to becoming a den of iniquity, a man named Lamarcus Adna Thompson is like, well, what can we do? What can we do with Americans to keep them from like gambling and drinking and carousing and dancing and boning down? What are we gonna do?
They gotta stop boning down.
stop
They
boning
gotta
down.
bone up
They gotta bone up.
on this ride.
Yeah, they should bone up on their Bible studies. But
Oh
first,
God, truly.
so this guy, he's born in Ohio. He moves to Indiana. He invents a manufacturing device for ladies' stockings and hosiery.
Which are seamless.
Which are seamless.
And I did think that was interesting because prior to this, silk stockings had that seam up the back.
Yeah.
And that still is like
And it's a style thing now, right?
it's a style, yeah. And even after this, but like, that's nice. That's cool. That's interesting, I guess. I guess they were still silk. How does that work? Because we didn't have nylon yet. Uh-oh, she's got questions.
Yeah,
I'll take it offline.
We're gonna have
I'll
to
take it offline.
We're gonna have to call the Thompson estate and ask for specific patent details.
Yeah.
But he makes a bunch of money with these seamless stockings, and then he just kind of retires young and milks
In
the
his
patent.
30s.
Yeah, yeah. He's just like, okay, cool. I guess I
Yeah.
cracked it. And
Yeah.
and before we go too far, this man who is concerned that America is becoming a den of iniquity made his money on women's stockings, which are
So sexy.
well, and indebatably they are underwear.
Yeah.
So
He's just been constantly horny
yeah,
for 30 years.
that's what I think. Is this man? This man, his business and his entire career, he has internalized
thinking about
into
women's
something.
undercarriages.
Yeah, and he's like, everybody thinks about this all the time. If I
Yeah.
do, everyone does. Therefore, everyone bad.
Nah, man, you're just a perv.
Yeah.
And I don't even mean that in a bad way.
No, no, there's nothing wrong with being a perv. It's how
No, I
you
love
perv.
being a
It's
perv.
how you perv that matters.
It's how you
You got to
perv.
perv responsibly
Yep. Yep.
and consensually.
Oh, always consensually.
Always.
100% of the time. More if you can swing it.
Yeah, yeah. Really, we should shoot for 150, maybe 200% of the time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I think
and hope we land
that's actually
at
the
100.
target. But if you land at 100, yeah, we're doing pretty good. So Thompson is this very religious man. He's really concerned that urban development is making everybody cuckoo bananas. It's like, oh no, people are together, and when they're together, they don't sit
Touch each
solemnly
other.
and stare into space.
So you'd think he would have brought back roller coaster. No, he did use roller coaster carriages that faced forward.
He did.
Yep.
He's part of the
Yep.
problem. He's like, I don't want anybody making goo goo eyes at each other while they coast.
No goo goo eyes. Yeah.
I want them thinking about the Lord.
Oh boy. That would mix up some people, I think, if roller coasters got real religious.
I mean, I think you can make the argument that you're up there, you're being terrified, and you're just beholden to the majesty of the heavens because
Yeah,
you're in the
that's
sky.
true.
Maybe. A little bit.
But imagine then if like a biblically accurate angel appeared like at the peak. Like if I was stuck on that roller coaster and a biblically accurate angel appeared,
Oh, sure, yeah. Yeah.
my life would be very different.
You-
My life would be significantly different.
Do you remember when Fabio hit that bird with his face on a roller coaster?
I sure do. I
Imagine,
sure do.
imagine if he hit a biblically accurate angel with his face.
Oh, that'd be pretty good.
Can you
He'd have to
imagine
give
that?
back the royalties for all those romance novel covers he did.
Maybe that's what they were trying to tell us.
Maybe that bird was a biblically accurate angel and we just didn't recognize it as such.
Yeah. I mean, a biblically accurate angel is effectively like a bird king in the way that like a rat
Yeah,
king is a bunch
a
of
rat
rats
king.
tangled together and a bird king is just a bunch of birds tangled together. I think that's what
Yeah.
it is.
I think you're right.
I think somebody got a little glue in a bird feeder and a bunch of birds got clumped together and they flapped in and people were like, it's a sign. I better do whatever it says. Oh, you're telling me to kill my
You're so
firstborn
right.
son? Sure.
Must do it.
So this guy, Thompson goes to, he's going on a pleasure trip. He goes to the relaxing hills of Pennsylvania because almost everything happens in Pennsylvania. I want
Yeah.
to suck in Pennsylvania. So,
I was like, what happened in Pennsylvania? I
well,
feel like it
our
was
first ransom note was in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
We've had a few Pennsylvania-based things come up of late. Some of the
Yeah,
patent
I
was in
bet-
Pennsylvania.
I bet Patton, I bet I don't know, where'd that lady elected official live?
Oh, that was Kansas.
She was over in that. Oh, that was
Yeah,
Kansas.
yeah.
Damn.
And in fairness, like the Pennsylvania thing is not entirely because there's some magic about Pennsylvania. It's like no, we were
no,
just all there for a
the
longer
country
amount
was
of time.
early.
Yeah, yeah. There was nobody elsewhere that we were writing things down about. There were people, and they were
Yeah.
doing better things than this guy ever did. But
Right.
then we murdered them. But that's not what this episode's about.
R.I.P.
We'll get to that. So he's in Pennsylvania. He goes to a town named Mauch in the eastern part of the state, and there's an old mining railway that people are just using as a ride.
Yeah.
They're just taking it
Yeah.
for fun. And it was used to move coal between the docks at the Lehigh River and a steel mill that was in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. And they were like, okay, cool, let's make this into a vacation experience, right? The same way that last year a few people went in, there's like mine tours you can take, and like a mine guy died in Colorado when the elevator broke.
Shit.
Yeah.
I didn't hear about this.
Yeah,
This was last year?
It was real gruesome, yeah. Yeah. It was like
Fuck.
last fall that they had to do like whoa, we can't really say, but I mean it something horrible happened, blah. Yeah, and it's like, yeah, well,
Well, you can
shit,
take a
man.
guess.
Yeah, I think we know. There's a column and a thing and a person died.
Yikes, that sucks.
Yeah, but so this is an early reappropriation of mining equipment into a ride. There's this fun railway. Everybody's kind of into it. It's a 9-mile long thing, and they use mules to pull the cart in the early days. But by the end of the 19th century, they have expanded it to 18 miles. And the mules, guess what? The mules lost their jobs because somebody automated them. We've got steam
God
engines.
damn it. Actually, I'm glad for the mules. I hope that they got to do something fun
Yeah, the mules
after.
the mules just probably get to go out to pasture, right?
I hope that they got a UBI.
There you go. Yeah.
Have you been on a ride like this? That's
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah. Like
yeah,
the
yeah,
old mountain train things, stuff like that, where it's
yeah,
like, yeah, this track was laid here for a work purpose. We were able to buy
and
it. It cost us like $2,500 to refurbish the track, and then we just put a novelty train on it, and
yeah,
everybody oohs and ahs, and you looking at shit and whatever. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Part of this for me is not like this doesn't seem relaxing, and I guess I can understand how some people might think it is, but it's no different from going, oh hey, the steel mill in town has closed down, so we've decided that instead of using it as a steel mill, we're just going to invite people to walk through it as an attraction. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, look at the death of this industry. Was that fun for everybody? Okay, see ya.
I guess it was a novel experience. Like maybe like we ride and stuff all the time these days.
Oh, this is true. People weren't riding in stuff. They were riding
People weren't
on
riding and
stuff,
stuff.
if at all.
Yeah. If at all ever. So this was I guess this is maybe not relaxing but exhilarating.
Yeah, you're in a different place. A
Yeah.
steam engine is moving you.
That's crazy.
It
Those are new.
they're so new. They're so new. So the
This was mules yesterday.
it used to be mules. So most of the link of the track is actually gravity powered switchbacks.
Yeah.
So the steam engines aren't used that much. I don't know what they did with the mules. Do they get you the high point and they get the mules off, or the mules like jump on the train and ride it down and then they take the mules
Yes.
back
What
out?
I read was that the mules rode it down.
Well, good for them. Then I'm even more bummed because the mules got to have like, wow, this is wild.
That's also crazy to think about. Mules had this experience way more often than people did.
Yeah. They were part of the whole thing.
Assuming what I read was accurate. And
We can
I'm
only
just
assume
gonna
it was.
I'm gonna be honest, I did not like I was not very serious about my source checking on this topic.
I got some good sources. We'll talk about some sources. And
Okay,
who
okay.
knows? Who knows if. Look, I also found several places where this exact same story was told with a different person's name who I looked up and found out it's like they use the name of a guy who was the first African American train designer in one article where
Oh,
they just replaced Thompson completely with this other person. And I looked in four different places to confirm that, like, no, this absolutely was not that. Somebody did terrible.
interesting.
My guess is it's like a quick copy paste. Let's throw something on
Copy
our
paste.
website so that we
Yeah.
have it kind of shit. Because, listeners, the internet is 100% reliable about literally everything. And if you read something that you think sounds right and that you agree with politically or spiritually, it's probably
It
true.
is. It's right.
Yeah. So don't bother checking other sources or thinking critically. That would be a real waste of time.
God, the trouble is the people who would do that are hearing our words and taking them at face
Yes,
value.
they sure are.
Tone, not interpreting.
It's too late. It's too late for tone.
It's too late.
We're past
It's too
tone.
late. Yeah.
So the cars would roll down the track at speeds that would exceed the running of a horse or even a train. So people are, yeah, this is exhilarating. This
That's
is
fast.
scary.
That's scary. That's open air.
Some of the people who used it called it, quote, harrowing.
That seems right. That's how I would describe roller coasters.
Yeah, they are
Heroin.
pretty harrowing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And at the end of this particular little railroad thing, there is a 600-foot plus drop. Now, I'm not going to assume it's straight down. I'm going to assume it's 600 feet that's a little more gradual. But you're still
Yeah, it's
going
gotta be at an
downhill
angle.
for a while, which, yeah, you'd be like, oh no.
Well, we could figure this out if we remembered physics because we
Yeah.
know that it gets up to like 60 miles per hour
Yes.
on this drop and we know the distance. So we could figure out
We need to do
we
one
could
of the
figure out the
things.
incline.
Yeah. We won't.
I'm not going to.
Look, listeners, if you figure it out, email us, debutbuddies@gmail.com.
Yeah. Thanks. Show your work.
So Lamarcus Thompson visits this thing. And tourists are paying $1 in 1880 to ride this, which is a lot of
Whoa.
money then.
That's a lot of money.
And the ride takes 80 minutes to complete. It is almost
Whoa.
qualified as a feature film that you are on a early roller coaster.
How much of this is interesting? Like how much of it is just like normal going forward at a normal pace?
I'm gonna guess very little of it is interesting in our
Yeah.
2025 sort of energy.
Yeah.
Like I mean, because look, literally everything is falling apart every single day. So I wouldn't be interested in like, oh, cool, we're moving forward slowly, big fucking deal. But
Yeah.
for folks who like churn butter all day, and this is the only time
Yeah,
they've been
this
out of
must
their
be
house,
riveting.
yeah, it's like wow,
80 minutes? How many
Minutes.
heart attacks did they have?
90. They had more than one a minute.
Whoa.
Yeah. So Thompson's like, oh wow, this is cool. Not only could I make some money, but I could also make this a little smaller, right? Maybe 80 minutes is too long.
That's too long. It's too long.
So he starts building his own little switchback railway, and it borrows the train cars concept, but adds in a ratchet system that prevents the trains from rolling forward until you want them to. And he
Smart.
adds a wooden frame structure, and then he patents the idea.
We love a patent, don't we,
Oh,
folks?
I mean, come on. Who doesn't love a patent?
Love a patent.
You gotta love them. The first Thompson roller coaster was built in 1884 at Coney Island in New York.
That feels right.
One of your classic dens of iniquity, Coney Island, that needed a really nice little railroad so that you could be a little less iniquitous.
And that was part of his thing. He thought that Coney Island was like a little, way too iniquitous.
Yeah, because they had
So he was like, this is where we're going to put the roller coaster.
Coney Island had theaters, they had a
Whoa.
racetrack, there were
Whoa.
restaurants, there were taverns, and
Oh my
there were
God.
bordellos.
Uh-oh.
So people are like low-key having the best time
Yeah.
at Coney Island. And he's like, you know what?
Not on my watch.
I think that I could get the better of these people having fun. So he sets up a switchback railway. He's intent on the idea that if people are out in fresh air, they'll keep their wits about them and families will stay together.
We're going to rattle some sense into them.
Exactly. He charged a nickel a ticket to ride his railway, and the top speed was around 10 miles per hour.
Oh,
Not super fast, but
Yeah.
still.
it's not that 600-foot drop.
It's not. The elevation was 50 feet, and it was 600 feet long total. So that we
Okay.
could do some dividing about.
Yeah. I'm not gonna.
600 divided by 50 is the 12?
Well, but is that all just one go, or is that ups and downs? It was wiggly.
Yeah, that's fair. It is probably
Yeah.
wiggly. So cars would start at the top, they would go down a length. There were a couple of small dips. So
Yeah.
closer to the Russian mountains that Catherine the Great had, where it's literally
For
just like we
sure.
start up high, we're gonna come down a little bit, we're gonna go up. We got whoop-de-doos. We don't have
Yeah, yeah.
real sort of terrain. We just have some whoop-de-doos. Then gravity would carry the riders up another hill because, like Sisyphus, so goes a roller coaster. And and basically you would return to your starting point, and then two cars could operate at the same time. So one was going this way, the other one's coming back, and never the twain shall meet.
Yeah, but in these first ones, it wasn't like a loop where you land back where you started. It was like you get to the end and then they swap them.
Right.
So you're lifted onto a separate track to go back
Yeah.
to where you started.
But you get back to your starting point. You just don't get there in the kind of
in
experience
a
we know now.
graceful,
Yeah.
unstoppable way.
Right.
Yeah.
But you had just been going about 10 miles an hour,
Whoa.
and it cost you a whole nickel. You could have bought 50 cigars and 500 whiskeys for a nickel and still had money to tip the brothel.
That's how he's keeping you out of the brothel.
But
Taking your
instead,
money.
here you go. You got a couple whoop-de-doos. Now, okay, everybody get out of the cart. Now everybody help me pick the cart up, move it to the other track. Great. Sit down.
Hey.
Let's go.
I have a question. So in the 80s,
Mhm.
question mark, or maybe the 90s, question mark.
Of the 1900s?
Yes. There was a film. I want to say that it was an erotic thriller, question mark,
Great.
wherein there is a sex act on a roller coaster. Do you know what I'm talking about?
This does sound familiar to me. I am going
I
to.
only know it from pop culture. I've never seen it. I don't know if it was a handy or a blowy or something else.
I mean, it could have been anything.
It could have been anything.
I'm gonna type in the totally reasonable sex on roller coaster 90s movie into the internet
Perfect.
and see what happens. This is returning the film Fear with Mark Wahlberg
Okay.
and Reese Witherspoon from 1996.
Sure.
And the Thrillist summary, because I'm not even going to click the article open. The Thrillist summary
Okay.
says the movie Fear, in which Mark Wahlberg does hand sex to Reese Witherspoon on a roller coaster,
Does
turns
hand
20 this
sex.
month. Yeah,
He does hand sex to her. Okay. I don't really know what that means.
No, I mean, in fairness,
To her,
it is a movie about
not at her.
It is a movie about how Mark Wahlberg is someone who seems like he's a safe, attractive person, but he turns out to be an evil individual.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
But it
got
works
it.
because
Gross.
he's the antagonist of this movie. He's sort of the male fatal attraction character who is pursuing her.
Oh, no.
So it would make sense that he would do hand sex to her.
To her.
And then he would be like,
gross.
because the famous scene in that is he's trying to get ready to like get her dad arrested for assaulting him, and he just starts beating himself in the chest as hard as he can,
Whoa,
so that he has like
okay.
punching bruises on his chest. And then
Whoa.
it's a movie. I can't say that it's a great movie, but it sure stuck with me. So yes.
Okay,
But
but
the hand
not the
sex didn't.
sex scene.
Yeah, that didn't really. I think it's like checked a little bit in and out of it because it's not
That makes sense.
as well. Also, 96, I was 15. It wasn't like the most gripping
Yeah,
thing. It was a
that was
little
a
more
minute
like,
ago.
ugh. Like this
Yeah,
is all.
gross.
These are all like this guy's clearly a bad guy. Like he's
is a
because
bad
he's
guy.
really like mustache twirlingly evil in that movie.
Okay, well, so now I'm conflicted. The reason I brought it up was because I was going to say Thompson was wrong.
Right.
You can be very horny on a roller
Absolutely.
coaster.
Yeah,
But you were 15 when you saw this. That's the horniest age.
it's true. It's true.
And this did not stick with you. So maybe the roller coaster erased that from your mind. So maybe he's right that it can dehornify.
It could be that. I think that's as close to science as we need. Within 3 weeks of Thompson's invention, he was making $600 a day.
That's crazy.
That's the equivalent of $15,000 a day today.
It paid for itself in like a week, did it say?
Yeah, and he's already
3 weeks maybe?
he's already hosiery rich.
He's hosiery rich.
He doesn't need this
is
money.
bonkers.
But yeah,
And he's doing this for the Lord.
he's doing this.
Is he
yeah.
tithing all that?
I could find nothing about anything good he did for the community
No.
with his money.
Me
much
either.
a classic capitalism. He's like, yeah, I got to
Yeah.
solve a problem by making people do a thing that makes me money, and it doesn't actually solve the problem, but fuck it, I feel good about myself.
Yeah, I couldn't find a single thing he did except die at 71.
Yeah, yeah. And he was very rich when he died at 71.
So rich. Yeah.
So yeah, a bunch of people made improvements to this. They started developing their own switchback railways. He's making money on all the people's iterations of the patent and stuff that they're fiddling with. But, eventually real roller coasters start to emerge out of that. And I hope, I wasn't able to really substantiate this, but I hope that it's not like, oh, well, the Thompson family gets money for roller coasters forever, even though anytime somebody rolls
Roller
something
coaster
downhill,
royalties?
right?
I don't know. No, patents expire, right?
Yeah, just like he did at age 71.
Oh my God, you're right. Do you think that's why they did it?
It's a good idea. Like, oh, hey, this guy died.
The roller
Should we-
coaster died at 71, so that's the limit.
And I did. So I got a lot of this from thevintagenews.com. And one of my favorite lines that they have in here is, Thompson's rides never quite replaced bars and bordellos, though. And it's
No,
like,
of
yeah, no
course not.
shit. Like,
You know what they did? They attracted more people to Coney Island.
yes.
They brought in good business for the bordellos.
A bunch of people's kids had no idea about bars and bordellos until they're like, I want to ride the roller coaster at Coney Island. And
I'm
then it was
going
like,
to Coney
whoa,
Island.
that lady's
now I'm a
stockings don't have
grown
seams
up.
on them.
Oh, God.
So I also found from the Smithsonian, which may or may not be around by the time the podcast releases, we'll find
We'll
out.
never know. Yeah.
There were 14 fun facts about roller coasters.
Ooh.
So do you want me to run through all these?
Yeah.
Excellent. I'm going to. I wanted you to say
Okay.
yes, because if you said no,
Yeah.
this would just end with a whimper. The American roller coaster was invented to save people from Satan. Boom, we just talked about that. Classic.
Hail Satan, though.
No,
666.
yeah, no, hail Satan.
Yeah.
If we're gonna hail anything,
Satan.
we're doing cabs and Satan. That's it.
Yep. Those are my top two.
That's what we're hailing.
Top two for sure.
Number two, one of the earliest coasters in America carried coal before it carried thrill seekers. We also just talked about that.
And mule.
And mule.
Z.
Yeah, multiple
Which is
mules.
the plural? Do you?
Can you imagine being the one mule that's like, oh man, I gotta do this whole thing myself?
Just me?
Yeah. I mean, I guess,
No, I'm
but
lonely.
maybe the wind blowing through your mane is exhilarating.
It probably
matter
is.
what.
You're just a mule. You've only ever gone mule speed, and now you're going
Yeah.
coal.
I don't even get to have
Track
horsepower.
speed?
I only have mule power,
I've got mule power.
which might be better. I mean, mules known for their stubbornness, but also very strong workers.
But I don't know that equates to speed. I think it equates to strength. They're a pack animal. Animal.
And a mule. Pack animals unite.
Okay, what's the next
The
one?
next one, roller coaster loops are never circular. So you'll notice that, yeah, they're never perfect
Yeah.
circles because guess what? Centripetal force in a perfect circle will cause things to break in your body.
Yeah. So for a while with roller coasters, they were circles, and people kept getting horrible whiplash and various injuries. And that's when they made them more elliptical to cool it.
Yeah, because you have to move the center, like the center of the circle has to move upward with you so that you don't
Yeah.
take all of the G's going around the circle
Yeah.
on your head, right? Because your head becomes the fulcrum point of the thing rotating. It's like the center of the pull is above your head, so it's just like, yeah. And we all don't get to be Gina Davis and Beetlejuice and just stretch our face out, and it's fine.
Unfortunately.
We break into lots of little pieces.
Yeah, those early roller coasters, I read that it was like they were experiencing more G's than today's fighter pilots.
Yeah.
Like they were brutal. They were harrowing.
They were so harrowing. That's the thing. You don't want that. So yeah, they're not circular. The next one is riding Big Thunder Mountain Railroad at Disney World could help you dislodge kidney stones.
Huh.
Yeah. It's pretty exciting, right?
How?
So there was a test done where the Journal of American Osteopathic Association had a rider with a backpack that had a transparent 3D printed kidney with fake kidney stones inside it. They rode the roller coaster 20 times to see how the stones would move because of all the ups and downs. And it turns out 2/3 of them will pass through.
Well, if you ride 20 times,
Well, you know.
how long does this one take? Is it 80 minutes?
I bet it's like 4 minutes. But, you know,
Okay.
but you got to stand in line. And if you got kidney stones the whole time standing, it's not going to be comfortable.
No, you're in pain.
You need a lot.
I don't know that this is worth it.
No, it seems like not an effective. This is one of those problematic studies where it's like, yes,
Yeah.
sure, you can inject a mouse with that much of that, but does that prove anything?
Those scientists just wanted funding to go to Disney World land.
Yeah. They never stopped to think if they should.
They absolutely did. They were like, I want them tickets. Come up with a reason.
Oh, Tell them that we also have to
Kidney stones. I
fool
don't
around
know.
on the It's a Small World ride for the kidney stones.
We're already there. We can't just get tickets to the one ride.
Yeah.
You have to get tickets to the
Come
park.
on, like,
So we might as well get our money's worth.
we got to go to whatever the club is where you ring in the new year every hour on the hour. We got to go do that.
We got to go do that.
How does it affect people's perception of time if they think it's New Year's Eve every hour? That's science. Number 6 on the list is an inventor named Philip Hinkle has invented the chain lift that allows the roller coaster to climb up their inclines.
Doesn't work in snow.
Doesn't work in snow.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Philip Hinkle.
Hinkle.
The next one, the tallest roller coaster in the world is Kingda Ka at Six Flags Great Adventure in Jackson, New Jersey. It has a 465 foot straight toward the sky climb, and then it
Whoa.
descends almost completely rapidly, going 0 to 128 miles per hour in only 3.5 seconds.
That's too fast.
Yeah.
That's too fast.
You go down 45 stories at a 90-degree angle.
No thanks.
Yeah, no, I don't think. Look, and if you want to dislodge a kidney stone, though, maybe this once.
It seems like just that once. Yeah.
I think it might dislodge literally everything you've got available. So just figure it out.
Like you're not just contents, but like your spine is cracking.
Yeah, literally, just your skeleton leaves your body briefly, and then it crawls back in. The fastest roller coaster ever is Formula Rossa at the Ferrari World Abu Dhabi. It goes 0 to 149 miles per hour in just 4.9 seconds.
I don't need to go
You
that
will
fast.
feel 4.8 Gs.
That's too many.
It's more Gs than anybody needs.
Isn't 4 when people start to get like delirious?
Yeah.
That's too many.
Yeah, it pretty much the Smithsonian qualifies it like you're either gonna feel like a real race car driver or you're gonna be sick. Like, it's
You're
like,
gonna
okay,
barf.
great. No,
Most of you are going to
I
barf.
don't need either of those things. Like I came all the way to Abu Dhabi for this. We made the normal there because it's so bad.
I just want to see normal.
The longest roller coaster is Steel Dragon 2000 at Nagashima Spa Land in Japan. It opened,
80 minutes.
It opened in 2000. It is 1.5 miles long, and you'll be on it for
Whoa.
4 whole minutes.
Whoa.
It's a long coaster.
Okay, I can make time in my schedule.
Number 10, Fabio may have killed that goose
Yeah.
with his face.
Yep.
It's classic, classic stuff. But unfortunately, the goose didn't hit him. According to Lanzoni, who was the guy who was the photographer, apparently the goose struck the video camera, and then the video camera hit Fabio. I don't know. Look,
Oh.
it's way more interesting to leave it as a goose thing. These are mysteries I don't need solved.
This is Mandela effect because I feel like I remember seeing a photo of the goose hitting him.
Yeah. And I
we
assumed
all?
because this was around the time that Randy Johnson killed that pigeon with a baseball. And so it just seemed like this is revenge. The birds have had enough.
That was a suicide mission.
Yeah. Kamikaze.
R.I.P. to the goose. R.I.P. to the goose.
R.I.P. to the goose. Why today? Today's Christmas Day.
No, R.I.P. to Goose.
Oh, from Top
Val
Gun?
Kilmer movie. Yeah.
Yeah. Anthony Edwards, famously,
Thanks.
hit his head on the canopy when he was ejecting.
I watched that movie for the first time just a few years ago, and that fucked me up.
Yeah, it's a real bummer.
Like as a grown up, I don't know how I had escaped that spoiler. So sorry to listeners,
yeah.
but I was like, "What? I don't want to finish the movie."
It's the hugest bummer because Anthony Edwards is the only like really human seeming male character in the whole movie. Like,
I also thought that we were just here for a good time.
Right.
I thought we were having fun.
yeah. You think that this is cool? We're chilling. We're hanging out. We're flying airplanes. Zoom, zoom, bang, bang.
Yeah.
Zip, zip. Whatever.
Exactly.
And then-
I thought we were here for homoerotic volleyball.
Right.
And now you're telling me
And
I
you're
gotta
like,
grieve?
oh, now the
somebody?
emotional core of the movie, who is marrying Meg Ryan, has just died in a training exercise incident.
What?
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah, I'm still mad.
and
I'm still mad.
and now Goose's son is the star of the newer Top Gun.
Love to hear that. Haven't seen this one
Yeah,
yet.
I haven't seen it
gotta
yet
wait
either, but
30 years.
yeah, we gotta fully wait until there's no spoilers again.
Yeah.
The only spoiler will be, hey, Tom Cruise is still alive. Did you realize? He's 140
What?
years old.
Oh, that's gonna be crazy.
It's all those
Can't wait.
thetans.
Well, no, it's all the thetans he beat.
It's the lack of thetans, yeah.
It's the lack
Yeah.
of thetans.
It's all those thetan marks in his bedpost.
It's all those fishy fucked.
Yeah. That's not libelous. Allegedly. We're fine.
Allegedly.
Whether or not you like roller coasters may have something to do with your brain chemistry. So if you have high levels of dopamine, you
don't need it.
You might just be like, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go.
Well, I got no dopamine, so that's why I'm like, hell yeah, baby.
Yeah. Like, get me out there.
I need to
coast.
experience it.
Coast so I can feel again.
Yeah.
But
not in my bones.
No.
I need a slow one.
Yeah. I want the slow no bones roller coaster. The future of roller coasters is promising cars that will rotate and different water slide mashups. That kind of stuff is already sort of happening. It's fine. It's interesting. Whatever.
See, rotation, that's a one-way ticket to Barf
It
City.
is. It's also maybe a one-way
don't wanna
ticket
do
to
that.
centripetal brain goo
Yeah.
city too. You're gonna have to be real
We're back
careful.
to that.
We can't do this kind of
Now-
circle. Now we're doing this kind of circle and this.
No
Oh,
circles.
no.
No
No, thank you.
circles. Now we're just driving those kidney stones into the back wall of our kidneys.
That's right.
This isn't going to work.
Maybe we just work them through the body, not out.
Yeah.
Out.
Yeah.
But just through.
We're not trying to whip them out.
You go so fast that your all of you turns into plasma, and then things can just sort of leave. Not a problem. The Ron Toomer, who was an engineer who pioneered steel roller coasters, he made the Runaway Mine ride at Six Flags Over Texas in 1966. He had motion sickness like crazy. So this guy who invented them just kept making
Couldn't
bigger
ride
and bigger
'em.
rides that he couldn't use because he would get sick.
Do you think he was like surly about it? Do you think he was like sending people on the ride and being like, how was it? Was it good? Must be nice. I wouldn't know.
Yeah, he was quoted to say to People magazine in 1989, they've gotten too big, and the bigger they are, the sicker I get. Just the thought of
Aw.
riding on one makes me queasy. I'd much rather be at my drawing table and draw them.
Aw.
And
Oh, it's good to know your limits.
yeah, it's important, right? You got to set
Yeah.
boundaries. The 14th and final fact from the Smithsonian is that there is a wooden roller coaster that was built in 1902 that is still active in service. It is called Leap the Dips, and it's in Altoona,
Whoa.
Pennsylvania. It is 117 years old, and it's still going strong.
That's old. That's
It goes
old.
10 miles an hour.
Oh, that's a reasonable speed.
It's got no
Okay.
seat belts, no lap bars or
No.
headrests.
Feels like we could add those.
Yeah, we could probably still add those anyway.
Yeah, this has got to be like the house I owned had a historical landmark designation, which meant it was impossible to make any changes.
Right.
Like this must have a historical landmark designation.
Yeah.
The red tape to add seatbelts.
No, don't you
Ugh.
see? History is bad, but we must preserve it.
We must preserve it. No, make America great again. No seatbelts.
Yeah, I mean, hey, look, we're probably what? You think like a month away from that?
Oh, I think it's already happened by the time this episode
Fair.
comes out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's your first roller coaster. Isn't that exciting?
So fun.
We went on a little pleasure trip. We saw moving slowly with mules. We were like, man, people won't fuck if they move slowly with or without mules. And then here we are.
And here we are. Nobody's ever fucked since.
It's true. Literally no one blaming the declining birth rate on roller coasters.
No,
It's a
I
conversation
haven't heard
that we probably need
argument.
to start having.
You know what? Let's surface it. I think we could let's start a hashtag. I did like that they that one of Thompson's nicknames was father of gravity. And I was like, Newton must be fucking pissed.
Yeah. Rolling over in his grave, like,
he's
hey,
rolling
look,
over in his grave.
I discovered that shit. Like, yeah, an apple hit me in the
He's
head, but I
father
thought
of
about it.
gravity?
This guy's just like sending stuff downhill. Any mook can do that.
Birth gravity. He's exploiting gravity.
but that's capitalism. We got to exploit something.
That's capitalism. That's capitalism, baby.
So that was the first roller coaster. And now it's time for the MouthGarf Report.
The MouthGarf Report. Open wide for some lasagna.
I hate Mondays.
MouthGarf.
I have continued my illustrious X-Files rewatch.
Yes.
I'm now in season 3.
Season 3, good season.
Season 3, very good. Season 3 starts, well, season 2 ends and season 3 starts with some real classic X-Files racism / sort of
Yikes.
just doing what they're doing is the like magical indigenous person shamanistic thing.
Yeah.
But we're also blending it with one of the coolest storylines in the early X-Files of like Mulder finding human alien hybrids in a buried train car in the desert.
Yes, which goes back to like real life conspiracy theory.
Yeah. Which it's so cool. And
it's so fun.
And another thing I gotta say, you start seeing the lone gunman in these late season 2 and early season 3 episodes. And when I was a kid, I always thought they were like, oh, these guys are really doofy. And they also seemed very old to me. And now I watch them and I'm like, oh, no, they're all pretty like they're not like movie star handsome, but they're pretty like conventionally attractive men. They've
Byers is conventionally attractive. I don't know that I would go so far for Langley and Frohickey.
I mean, Frohickey's not unattractive. He's styled to be as unattractive as he can be.
Frohickey is a lech.
Well, yeah, he's a grosso. We're not talking
grosso.
personality here. I'm just talking about the fact that
the
like
two are inextricable to me. Yeah, I guess he's not physically a troll.
And but they all are also like, oh, these guys are all in their 30s. Like they're all David Duchovny's age. Yep. They're all just working actors. And now I look at them and I'm like, man, I remember looking that young.
I know. Yeah, when I rewatched it last, I had the same experience, which was 10 years ago. So I was 10 years younger. And I was like, oh, Byers, especially, like I went to school with him.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just like,
Langley,
oh, yeah, totally.
Not that much older. Frohickey's a little older than the other two.
Yeah,
right?
Frohickey's probably got 5 to 8 years on both of the other guys.
Yeah.
Because
I'd say if they're in their
thing.
30s, he's in his 40s. But they're really playing it up.
Yeah, they're really trying to work it. But yeah, it's just like, oh, this is a weird, fun little dynamic, and rewatching how it emerges, it reconnected for me how, yeah, it totally makes sense that you would spin these guys off. Like X-Files is such a big deal.
Watched.
Like, yeah, let's give these 3 guys a show, and Mulder can pop in now and again. We'll do this crossing universe thing.
And you can have Scully on phone calls every so often. Like, she's never going to show up, but Frohickey's going to call her and be gross and weird.
And she's going to be like, I'm hanging up now. And
yeah,
that's it. They just use the same
clip. Or
clip.
she'll say something like, I'm in the middle of whatever, and it ties into an X-Files episode. And so the people who watch both are like,
I'm currently dissecting a cockroach to figure out if it ate a human being.
Yeah.
What do you need? Oh, we're looking for Mulder. He's not with me. Call Mulder.
Call Mulder.
Yeah, which would be great because it would be great for Gillian Anderson. She gets an extra paycheck. All they got to do is like throw a different coat on her. She does the scene that she's already shooting. It's genius.
We can do this while she's on set. Yeah. Done. Easy.
But yeah, like season 2 ends very cool. Season 3 begins very cool. Paperclip is a fun episode. Classic like conspiracy stuff.
Wait, remind me which that is.
That's the
Paperclip. That's Project Paperclip.
Yes. So that's like Mulder's trying to learn more about his dad and what his dad was doing, and they're finding out that like all of them were involved in these alien human hybrids
from the get,
and all of this stuff has been going on for a long time. And his sister was given to the aliens as collateral. And he's like talking to his mom. The weirdest scene in that episode.
And she's cagey.
Yeah, but weirdest scene in that episode is he goes to his mom's house at like 3 a.m. and gets in and is sitting on her bed while she's asleep. And is like, Mom, why did you give Samantha up and not me? And she like wakes up slowly. It's not the best acted scene. And she's just like, I hated your father forever for that. And it's like, okay, well, so I mean, we're getting details. Some that maybe we didn't need
Dang,
as
that's
much as
season
others.
3?
Yeah, yeah. I was surprised at how
Wow.
quickly some of this stuff is happening.
I would have expected that later.
Yeah.
Wow.
Also in season 3, we've got the gross online dating guy that has like acid
Oh,
mouth that keeps
yep.
dissolving women. You have I just watched Oubliette, which
He was a
is
poet, right? He was a poet.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
he's like he's a fucking incel loser is what he is, but we
He's an
didn't have a
incel
name for him
loser.
back then.
Right, yeah.
And then also the wonderful Clyde Bruckman's Final Repose.
The best episode of the series.
It is astonishing how fundamentally itself it is compared to the rest of everything that you watch in the X-Files. Like one of the best things about watching the X-Files is that the tone of the Monsters of the Week episodes and the tone of the like greater story arc episodes vary enough that it feels
Yeah.
like yes, this is the same show, but this is like oh, it the X-Files feels like you're listening to a concept album a lot, right?
Yeah,
Where
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, oh, hey, this is a poppy song and it's really catchy and I'm just going to listen to this over and over and over again. And other ones are like, you have to listen to these 3 songs back to back to back to really get what's going
To
on.
get
They're all
it.
good on
Yeah.
their own, but they really hit when you put them together. Clyde
Yeah.
Bruckman is like doing all of it because it really
Yes.
it's connecting this whole idea, further cementing Scully seeing like, oh, there's, there are psychics, there's all these things. But you're also
Yeah.
introducing just incredibly winning individual people to just be in this one episode.
God, that episode is good.
And everything knits together so perfectly at the end, too. Like Peter Boyle is awesome. And he's still
Love Peter
he's playing
Boyle.
like a goofy older man Lech a little bit. He's still like
A
he's still like an
lech,
old
a
horny man.
curmudgeon.
Yeah, he's a horny
He's an
curmudgeon.
old horny
yeah.
man.
But it's just so good. So I'm just loving rewatching
Which
this.
played differently in the 90s. When that episode came out, old horny man was like,
Yeah,
"Aw,
yeah, it's cute.
Peter
Well,
Boyle."
I mean, look,
like if that happened today, we'd all be like, "Fuck this guy."
yeah, the thing that is the thing that's interesting is the nature of that type of character. Your Clyde Bruckman, your Xander from Buffy, your Chandler from Friends, your characters who they were like, oh well, this is the sassy, sarcastic guy that just says whatever he's thinking, and we think that
Yeah.
that's funny in the '90s.
In the
And
90s.
in the 2020s, it's like, man, this guy should read the room.
Ooh.
Like, read the room. Dude.
Yikes.
Why are you being so gross?
Gross. Ew. Yeah. God, but that episode is so good. When people ask me, like, oh, I've tried to get into the X-Files and it's just never stuck. What episode should I watch? I'm like, this is the one. If this doesn't land for you, then I give you permission to stop trying.
Yeah, it really is. I think anybody would like that episode. It's
Yeah.
tough to sell the whole series on the back of it because so many other episodes are so different. But like, yeah, I would
Yes.
do that one, and I would do the carnival performers episode that we talked about.
See, but same problem there.
Well-
like the tone there is much funnier than the main threads of the show. But like, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Watch this. If you like it, keep going.
Yeah, and one of the threads that we kind of were talking about last MouthGarf was how Mulder doesn't really do Mulder doesn't do action hero stuff. He is
No,
he's a
yeah.
soft college boy and he's constantly getting his ass
He's just
kicked.
a nerd. He's just a nerd.
Well, in
dork.
season 3, he's really starting to do stuff, right? I think a lot of what happens in season 2 when he gets into that train car, he's also been shot.
Mm-hmm.
Like he gets shot in the end of season 2. He's on the mend.
That's right.
He breaks into the train car. He's
Oh, that's more shamanistic
yes,
stuff.
yeah. He's
This is coming
miracle
back to me.
healed.
Yeah.
But it really is ratcheting up the amount of getting active in things he is, and he's chasing people, he's shooting people, he's running around. And there was real tension in Clyde Bruckman is what it is. The real tension is when you do think like, oh, this guy who also sees the future is going to kill
Yeah.
Mulder. And it's very, it was just so well plotted.
Oh, God, what a good episode. Yeah.
Yeah. So X-Files is going great. The birds are back because the weather here has gotten
Yes.
lovely. It's been in the 50s or 60s for now, I don't know, 2.5 weeks, something. The daffodils are
Perfect.
popping. There's crocuses.
Yeah, same.
And I saw some gray jays today, which they might just
Ooh.
be female blue jays because they're
I don't know.
they got the same blue jay marks on their wings. But yeah, and I'm starting to hear all the fun bird calls again. The ones where it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah, you've
yeah.
got something to say. You're not just
Yeah.
you're not
Oh, you're
just
horned
yeah.
up. We got to get you a
Yes.
roller
Yeah, we
coaster.
gotta get you a roller coaster.
Little bird roller coaster. If the mules can do it.
I love it. The last thing that I have that is it's MouthGarf adjacent, obviously.
Yeah.
I've been kind of because I'm in a weird moratorium around playing any video games just because I can't quite get myself to like focus in and want to do it.
Yeah.
So I've just been dabbling with like going into games that I do like and think I might want to play and doing character creation. And
Oh, that's fun.
I've been fiddling with that and I just keep getting stuck on the teeth because so many of these
no.
games have like the best teeth that you can get still look really alarmingly sort of glossy and fake and chiclety, right? But then they also give you all these just other horrible tooth options. I was
That's
creating
super
I was
fun.
creating a character in Demon's Souls, which is like a Dark Souls game. It's a predecessor to
Okay.
all of them, but they put a remastered version out on the PlayStation 5 a few years ago. And so I was trying like I'm just going through the teeth. And there's like normal teeth. And then there's like dirty teeth. And there's like what if you're missing some teeth and they're all fucked up? And then it's like what if the
Yeah.
monster teeth? And you're just like and
Ooh.
some I mean, and honestly like game design is so realistic now that like you're looking in these mouths and you're just like, "Oh, fuck." Right?
You're just like zooming in, pausing, taking
Yeah.
screenshots.
I want to possess these.
Lamarcus Thompson is like, we got to get this
Yeah.
guy on a
We gotta
fucking
get
roller
this guy on a
coaster,
roller coaster.
ASAP.
Get yourself off the couch and away from the teeth.
What's been your favorite teeth so far?
There are some really fun kind of like glossy metallic teeth in Cyberpunk 2077
Okay.
where it's like
Okay, okay. Are they pointy?
no, they're just kind of normal teeth, but it's not quite like a regular
They're just
grill because there's
metallic.
sort of it's got that like it's like the pearlescent metallic sort of vibe that you might get on a
Oh.
on nail polish or on a car for that matter.
Yeah, yeah,
And then
yeah.
there's also this just essence of like the virtual cyberness to it. So there's like a
Okay.
weird glow that's going on. That's kind
It's
of
almost
neat.
like hologram.
Yeah,
but
perfect.
yeah.
And
Okay.
that's the sort of thing that I could fuck with something like that. Like it would be
You need some futuristic
yeah,
teeth.
if you were
That's
gonna
what you're
go,
looking
if you're
for.
gonna go for like different teeth, go for weird futuristic
Yeah.
teeth, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Like or the big swings of the people who like the Snake Man or whatever who like filed all of his teeth into points,
Ooh.
things like that.
Ooh.
I mean, I wouldn't recommend
Stresses
it
me
because
out.
it's gonna make a lot of life more difficult. You're a
Yeah,
lot
that sounds
pointier than
painful,
sort
too.
of most humans are accustomed to.
Imagine when you bite your tongue
Yeah, no shit, right?
and I chew my lips. Oh,
Yeah. Oh, same.
This would be
same.
devastating
That
for
is like
me.
my nervous tick is like a
Yeah.
little bite on the inside of the old mouth. You, if you've got a
devastating.
razor, no, thank you, no, thank
it's
you.
not going to work.
So,
It's not going to work. Yeah, what have I been up to? I mean, I live in San Francisco now.
you sure do.
But also now I am packing to move to San Francisco.
You sure are. The Golden Gate Bridge is
I've
long.
been-
You have to tow each of the boxes by mule.
Yes. Well, like I said, every point in time is happening at every point in time. So both things are true. It's going well. I think that I overestimated how long it would take me to pack, but also knock on wood because I feel like
I'm knocking for you. Knock, knock, knock,
thanks.
knock, knock.
I'm
knock,
not at
knock.
my wooden desk, so I'm the legs of my ottoman, knock on wood. I feel like the thing about moving is the further you get into it, the longer every step takes.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm just early in it now,
Oh, it's
so I don't know
moving
yet.
fatigue for real sets in.
Yeah.
Because there's also
Yeah.
that. I mean, granted, I've only had big moves a couple of times, but there's always that nostalgia factor and that weird like when you start packing your stuff, you look at it again for the first time in a lot of cases, and then it brings up all these things, and then you kind of have to.
Yeah.
At least for me, it kicks all of my internal indecisiveness in, where I'm like, do I still need this? Is this worth
Absolutely.
taking with me across the country? Yes, it's very important to me because of these 3 memories that I will never have
no,
again.
here's why. But here's the thing. So I moved not even a year ago and downsized from a 2,000 square foot house to a 500 square foot apartment. So I already got rid of a bunch of stuff not even a year ago. And then when I got into the apartment, I was like, didn't get rid of enough stuff. So over the last 9 months, I have just been decluttering. And while I've been doing that, I've been asking myself two questions. It's been a sort of 2-layer validation process every item has needed to get through in order for me to keep it.
Great. I like this.
And it's very useful. I highly recommend this to you and all of our listeners. Here's the first layer. If my cat barfed on this thing,
Great.
would I keep would I clean or replace it? And no, for almost everything, no, I'm throwing it away. Now, if the answer is yes, my second tier question is, would I pay movers to move this across the country for me? Because this move to California was sort of in the back of my mind. So I was like, would I want to keep this?
Sure.
If my cat barfed on it and I've cleaned it, am I taking it to California with me? And no, I'm not. So I got rid of so much stuff during the year. And even still, the last few weeks, I'm like, why am I keeping all of these supplies to make paper plants, of which I've made one? Donate. So I'm just getting rid of everything.
I mean, there's something to be said for the fact that there probably are paper plants in San Francisco.
I will be able to find green paper in San Francisco, I'm certain.
Yeah. The streets are paved with it, some might say.
Yeah.
Not me. That would be weird if I said it, but
No.
some might say that.
Some might. We'll find the one that's paved with the most to roll our sourdough down.
Yes. Now
Yeah.
we're talking
Yeah.
green paper sourdough.
Yep.
The original GPS.
Oh, hey. So that's what I've been doing. I had also been rewatching the first season of Severance.
Excellent.
And then I started the second season, but that's sort of on hold until I finish packing. So I'm like, I keep seeing people being so excited about it online, and I have to just scroll so fast because I don't want any spoilers.
No, that's smart because I need to get into. I really need to rewatch season 1 because it's been such a long time,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
actually watch season 2. And it's really a matter of just not listening, tuning out every single person who's like, "Oh, this is so great! It's amazing! You got to do this part." Nope, don't talk to me.
No,
I
don't tell
wanna
me.
know.
Scroll.
There is so little that we can still hold on to in this day and age. If it's just not having a thing spoiled a little bit, that would be lovely.
Let me have my little moments of surprise when I watch this TV show.
Yeah. Let us have our joy.
Oh, I can't remember if I've told you this or maybe you saw it and shared it with us, us being me and Chelsea, but Adam Scott is going to be in a horror movie by the director who did Oddity.
Oh.
Yeah.
So he's
playing
second
a
horror
horror
movie
writer.
since Hellraiser 4?
Must be his third because he was also in a Krampus.
Oh, he was. He was in the
horror
Krampus.
movie.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, Adam Scott.
Yeah. I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
That director does good work.
Well, and Adam Scott's really fun in everything.
I love Adam Scott, and I am so happy for his success. Like, I've been an Adam Scott fan since Party Down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Party Down.
Like,
it's always a bummer to me that Party Down didn't last longer than it did.
I know.
But it's also perfect in the amount that you get.
Yeah, and it didn't like go so long that it got bad.
Yeah. It just it
just got
exists
canceled.
as a pristine cultural artifact, and we can just have that,
exactly.
right?
Yep. God, and Party Down was one of those shows that was like, oh, I'm like the X-Files, like, oh, I'm pretty bisexual, because it was him and who's a gal? What's her name?
Oh, Lizzie Kaplan?
Lizzie Kaplan. Yeah, just a very beautiful couple of
Absolutely.
people.
Yeah. It's good. It's a good group.
Yeah, great show. So that's what I've been up to.
Well, that was the MouthGarf Report.
MouthGarf Report.
You know what happens after this?
Oh yeah, I sure do.
We're gonna play a little game.
Know. Oh God, how does it surprise me every week?
I know. It's because I spend the entire time between recordings gently consoling you that it'll never have to happen again. And then, haha, no, it's back.
No, I just get so engaged in our conversation that I don't anticipate, and then it's like,
Oh no.
Okay.
Not again. And this one's probably pretty hard. So I'm just gonna put that up front. We're gonna work through it
Okay.
together. It's fine. It's not a competition.
Okay.
This is for fun. I also firmly believe you're gonna surprise me and you're gonna know all of these. So this is gonna be great.
Okay, we'll find out.
Woohoo! Okay, it's time to play. I see what you did there.
Hooray!
Number 1. This term refers to some Protestant Christian churchgoers in the Wesleyan holiness movement to describe dancing, shaking, or other boisterous movements by church attendees who perceive themselves as being under the influence of the Holy Spirit. And this is the name for a combined discotheque and skating rink where attendees are encouraged to participate in roller skating while dancing.
Is the second part roller rink, or is it more specific than that?
It's a more specific kind of roller rink.
Okay.
Using the discotheque part.
Roller disco?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
And the first part,
Holy roller disco?
holy roller disco. You see what I did there?
Yay!
Crack-ow, bam.
Okay. Yay!
That sweet, sweet San Francisco Bay fog is rolling in to say that
Carl.
I see what you did there.
It's named
It's
Carl.
named Carl? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Is Carl short for like California
I don't know that much about it.
love?
Couldn't tell you.
Okay. I like that it's named Carl. And
Yeah.
I can't wait to visit Carl someday.
You got to come out. You got to see Carl.
will.
I'll also be there.
We should do a live recorded episode with Carl.
Oh, we can get Mikey.
We could get Mikey back.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
I'm full of
Yeah.
them.
Hey, look, I know. Speaking of things that I know that you might not,
Uh-oh.
I see what you did there.
Uh-oh.
Number 2.
Oh, God.
Number 2. This is the name for a hypothetical steel roller coaster conceived in 2010 by the Lithuanian artist Julie Jonas Urbonas that's designed with the sole purpose of killing its passengers.
Okay.
Now, the design of this is just one big circle followed by several consecutive concentric circles that get smaller and smaller and smaller.
Okay. Sounds
Yeah,
fun.
it's great. But that was never actually made. So you would have to put
that
this
seems
typographical symbol, little star, after its name to indicate that it's not real on a list of roller coasters.
Okay. Wait, so am I looking for the name of the typographical symbol or the name of the coaster?
Well, you want the name of the coaster and then the name of the typographical
Okay.
symbol.
Oh, okay.
They will squish together, I promise. But this
Okay.
this is conceptual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
This was a specifically conceptual list of I see what you did there. So I apologize now
That's okay.
and later and forever.
Great.
So the big thing is
And so that's both parts.
it's both parts. So the big
Okay, so asterisk. is
great,
the second
yes, you
part.
got asterisk, perfect.
Okay.
So then we need the name of this
And-
particular hypothetical steel roller coaster.
And first of all, is there any way for me to guess my way into this?
Yes, because
Okay.
the sole purpose is killing its passengers. And we can talk
And
about
is
words
the-
for killing people or ourselves that are fancy. Maybe your $5 word for the killing of a person who no longer wants to live or is too ill to continue
Oh.
living.
Okay, okay. I was going a different direction. I'm glad that you said that because I was like holocausterist.
Oh shit. Yeah. Yeah, no, let's not. I mean, I'm going to leave it in, but let's not.
Yeah, okay. What is that called? Oh, is there a different name for it? than assisted suicide?
Yeah, yeah.
There must be, because that doesn't line up with
There
asterisk.
there is another word that sounds vaguely like um, underaged individuals living in Thailand, Laos, India, China, parts of Russia, Kazakhstan, pretty much
It's
anybody
not
from that
helping
continent.
me. Okay.
Pretty much any underage people on that continent that's east of Europe.
And it just sounds like it
Yeah.
phonetically? I got nothing. There's just
What's
a
another word for not adults but not children?
minor,
Another one though.
teenager,
Like
youth.
there you go. Now what if those
that
youth
doesn't
lived
hook up with
what if those
asterisk.
youth lived on the continent that's directly east of Europe?
It's not just it's not just youth. It's not just Asian youths.
It's not. No, you have the words in the opposite order.
Oh, youth asterisk? Youth what is
No,
it?
the words Asia and youth are in the wrong order. Flip them.
Yeah, I'm trying to yes, youth Asia.
Great.
Asterisk.
Now think of
I'm trying to combine it with asterisk.
yeah, no. That's the asterisk part is gonna be just the coaster. Co-asterisk is going to be our thing. But we
Oh.
just need to you got to put youth
Asian
and Asia
coaster?
together.
I don't know what you're asking of me.
I'm asking you for the word that means like assisted suicide or putting something down, and it sounds like
Oh, euthanasia.
There we go. Yeah.
Oh my God. Wow.
You see what I did there.
I would have given me different
What-
clues.
oh, great. Yes. Let's do this. What clues would you have preferred? What would have worked?
Well, just having me sound it out, I'm never going to get to where I'm
Okay.
going. I'm too focused on the literal.
I suppose, yeah. I'm painting
we're
a picture that's
discussing.
creating like disparate information. Like, so
Yeah,
what?
yeah. Okay.
Young people in Cambodia, I don't want to
I'm-
know about that.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's called
So honestly, with euthanasia, I feel like I was not that far off talking about Holocaust.
No, you were not. These are very similar things. It's just, yeah, it was called the euthanasia coaster.
Wow,
Euthanasia
of course it was.
co-asterisk is
Okay,
our I see what
yeah.
you did there.
I see what you
Yeah.
mean by it was just being a conceptual
Yeah,
connection.
yeah. We're in the meta. We're in the meta game now. We're not even
Oh,
playing the
God,
game anymore.
Fucking finger monkey.
Finger monkey. Absolutely. Finger monkey. Number 3, maybe this will be better. Maybe this will be better.
Yeah, maybe.
Number 3, a roller coaster at Port Aventura Park in Spain ties for the 10th longest drop at 255.9 feet. It's a pretty long drop. Not as long as that one in
Yeah.
New Jersey that we heard about, but it's a pretty long drop.
Yeah.
And it goes by this name for a spiritual kingdom in Tibetan Buddhist tradition. And a French dish in cuisine bourgeoisie consisting of a roast duck with a citrusy bigarade sauce would be called canard or duck this.
I've got terrible news for you.
You got it already. You've been
I have
bored.
no
You've been bored for
idea.
10 minutes.
I don't
but you got it
even-
already.
I don't even know where to start with either of
Okay,
them.
there is in Boulder, Colorado, there is a mountain center that is in downtown. There's
Yeah.
also there's a regular center. There's a Buddhist center that's in downtown that's called this same spiritual kingdom name.
It's not that tea house. It's a different place.
No, it's not the Dushanbe Tea House.
Dushanbe.
It's so this name sounds like there was a famous annoying as seen on TV guy who had a
Yeah.
cloth that you could use to soak up anything.
ShamWow.
Great. Okay. So it's
Okay.
got the first syllable of ShamWow.
Oh, the Shambhala
Perfect.
Center.
Okay, that's the first
Okay, so
step.
Shambhala.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Now,
okay.
you want a French dish with a citrusy bigarade sauce? That would be canard or duck this. So I'm just looking for
Bolognese?
I'm looking for the suffix of this citrusy. You're not going to get scurvy if you eat this specific kind of duck.
But is it in French?
No. I
Wait.
mean it is in to the extent that this fruit is the same in French as it is in English.
And it lines up with Shambhala?
It sure does.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, okay. I'm going for à l'orange.
Oh, I was never
Okay.
going to get that in 1,000 years. Okay.
Yeah, so it's Shambhala.
I was like, orange doesn't line up that way. I was like, does Shambhala, is it Shambola? Shambor?
I was
never gonna
going
get
for
there. Okay,
duck
thank
à
you.
l'orange, right? So then it's
Okay,
Shambhala
okay.
orange. Anyway, look, I said
Yes.
this is
No,
the-
I do see what you did there. That was a gap of knowledge on my part. I think that was actually really
this
good
is fully
clues.
metatextual at this point. Like we are not doing I see what you did there. We are commenting on the performance of I see what you did there. This is all intentional. You were witnessing
No, I think that you
genius.
did a really good job with that one. I just did not know that information.
Okay, I think this one you might know. This one I think you've got a good shot with. Number 4. While not technically roller coasters, these are amusement rides consisting of a water channel and often artificial tree trunk boats that descend and end at a splashdown. And this is a chemical that exhibits chemiluminescence with a blue glow when mixed with an appropriate oxidizing agent, and it's often used to detect trace amounts of blood or other splashdown fluids at a crime scene.
Okay, I do know that second one. That's luminol.
You got it? So now we need a ride where you're in a fake tree boat and you're going down a
Yeah.
water hill. And it's got a very
I know that
specific
this
name.
is in my. I know it's in my brain.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's in there. But can I find it?
So if you cut a tree down,
Yeah.
then the trunk, the piece that's cut down is usually called this.
Log fluminol.
Yes! You see what I did there?
Woo!
Log fluminol. All right. Woo! Only one more.
Oh boy.
Only one
Oh
more.
my god, I thought that was the end.
Nope,
Okay.
It's never the end.
Okay. I forgot to take a deep breath. Okay.
Number 5. Known for more than just roller coasters, Six Flags was originally called Six Flags Over Texas, with the flags being name-checked from Spain, France, Mexico, the Republic of Texas, the United States of America, and this one that just won't go away. And this actress played Betty Suarez on Ugly Betty from 2006 to 2010, winning a Golden Globe, a Screen Actors Guild Award, and a Primetime Emmy for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Comedy Series.
Uh-oh.
Well, what do you think the flag is?
Just won't go
Yeah, it's-
away? Will you list the flags?
Yeah,
again?
so we got Spain, France, Mexico, the Republic of Texas, and the United States of America. What's a flag that maybe Texas would be cool with that won't go away?
Oh, the Confederate
Great.
flag.
Now, what were those?
Great.
What were those? What was the Confederation called fully?
Sorry. My OCD brain was just like Confederacy of Dunces, say Confederacy of
Yeah,
Dunces.
I mean, you should. I'm glad you did.
Is it just the Confederacy?
It's Confederate States of America.
Confederacy
is what it is.
of-
It's the CSA.
Confederate States of
Yeah,
America.
Confederate States of America.
Oh, yes. And then her name is America Ferrera?
You see what I did there? Yeah.
Hey!
We ended positively, if not confidently, but it's over. We did it.
We made it through.
You saw what I did there. And hopefully, listener, you also saw what I did there. And you saw that
Thanks,
tree.
listener.
Don't drive into that tree. Stay on the road.
Stay on the road. Whew,
Oh boy.
we did
We
it.
did it. And now it's time to talk Debs.
How many Debs? How many Debs? How many Debs? How many Debs?
Yay!
Yay.
I mean, what are you thinking?
This is a tough one. I think this has the right amount of mules in it.
Yeah, for
This
sure.
has like a 5 Debs number of mules, considering the
100%.
mule
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
exhilaration, right?
Yeah.
It also dips into a classic debut buddies bucket of like, people don't want people to do normal human horny things, so they invented an absurd thing to try to circumvent that.
Basically, anytime we get to say horny a bunch, I think that's really funny. That's a bunch of Debs for me.
but I'm also down on the boondoggle nature of all of this, and kind
Right.
of just the generally the vibe of like, oh, hey, capitalism is just constantly enriching people who try to limit other people from having fun, and they make stupid ways
Yeah.
of doing that.
It also sounds like we're toeing the line of maybe going too far with roller coasters again, if we're talking about
We're talking about doing hand sex.
advancements. We definitely should not do hand sex to anyone.
Yeah.
You need to do hand sex
Yes,
with
yes.
someone.
Yeah, it needs to be counter participatory for one.
It needs to be a with.
Yeah.
So that gets 0 dubs.
0 dubs to that. Absolutely.
I don't know. I think the roller coasters, by and large, are like, to this guy's credit, pretty wholesome fun. I don't think that they stop people from getting horny for each
Absolutely
other.
not.
If anything, that's like watching a scary movie is a good date because you get like it's high
Yeah.
emotion with somebody that's like trauma bonding.
Yeah, it's like the last, it's like the ending of the movie Speed, where they're like,
Yeah,
the relationships that start from volatile emotional moments that don't last. And they're like, whatever, let's make out.
Whatever. We're horny for
Yeah.
each other, and that's what matters. So I guess roller coasters get 5 stars from me. That guy, Thompson, he gets fewer.
Yeah, he gets, I'm going to give him 1 because
I'm gonna give him
because of
1
roller
for his
coasters,
contributions.
right? And because
Yeah.
because he saw the joy of mules and decided like, oh, maybe this is a thing.
Yes.
He also
Yeah.
inventing seamless stockings is probably like a net win for
Yeah, that was
stocking
probably
wearers.
good.
And everywhere.
Or maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was really bad and I don't know the implications yet.
Yeah, we might have another episode where it's like, oh yeah, well,
For seamless
Yeah.
stocking, we don't know.
robberies with stocking masks rose by 2,000% when there were no seams.
Yeah. Ah, fuck.
Like finally, it doesn't chafe my face when I'm holding up the bank. But yeah, but shitty guy because he had like it's just another one of these parallels to everything that's going on now, where
Yeah.
really wealthy people are doing nothing good with their money. They don't even feel vaguely obligated to do something good. There's no noblesse oblige.
Or their idea of good is this weird puritanical, I need to impose this on other people idea.
Yeah. Gross fixations and too much money are a bad mix, no matter what. So
Yeah,
a 1
100%.
for him, a 5 for roller coasters. That makes it a 3.
Yeah. Okay.
Great. We did
did
it. It's a 3.
It's a 3.
Listeners, what do you think? Do you think roller coasters are fun or not? Email us at debutbuddies@gmail.com.
Especially, have you been stuck on a roller coaster before?
Yeah.
What did they do?
Yeah. I mean,
Write
I
us
think
in.
I've been like stuck on a Ferris wheel for not that long, but there's always that weird thing where like when they're loading the Ferris wheel and you're at the top and it doesn't move.
Yeah.
And then you're like,
Ah,
is this the time? Is this
do
it?
I live here
Yeah.
now or not live here now?
Right? Should I jump? Can I fly from here? Are the drugs kicking
Well,
in,
should
or
I
is
jump
this
is sort of what I think at the top, no matter what.
It's like, this is a good convenient place to do this. Yeah, let us know, listeners. If you like this podcast, please subscribe, rate, and review us wherever you listen. Go to Apple Podcasts. Give us 5 stars. Tell us about roller coasters. Were you stuck on one? Did you ever have or do with hand sex with people on a roller coaster? You can say. You can say, I did or I didn't. You don't need to go into graphic detail.
Yeah, you don't have to tell us
Yeah, we're not
details.
here for that necessarily. Like, just
No.
put in the review.
It's just a poll. It's just a
yes.
poll. Yes,
Correct.
no. Yeah.
Did you poll somebody
You
on a
raise your
roller
hand.
coaster?
If you've done it.
So let us know. That would be fun. We'd like to hear that. And
Yeah.
If you like the music, well, Michael J. O'Connor wrote the music, and Michael J. O'Connor has a new band. And I don't rightfully remember the name of that band right now, which is terrible of me.
Whoops.
But you can find him because the internet works surprisingly well. Kelly's going to look it up while I ramble.
I'm trying to pull up. Yeah. Vamp.
I'm
Vamp.
vamping. You love all the music that he does for the show. He's amazing, and you will be able to look up this band in just a couple of seconds.
And the Cold Family. Michael J. O'Connor and the Cold
There you
Family.
go. And that's Michael J. O'Connor and the Cold Family .bandcamp. or something. You'll be able to find it. Look up.
I am on his Instagram. I don't
Great.
know.
Just look him up. You'll find him. He's not just a handsome person.
Yes.
He's also
Michael J. O'Connor and the Cold Family Bandcamp, etc.
perfect.
However that link
Supremely
ends.
talented individual. Go check him out. Seamless plug. If you want to read some books, Spaceboy Books continues to publish them. We put out a murder mystery about baked goods earlier in the year. We have a queer romantasy time loop book coming out in the month of March. It's already out. You should have it already.
Yay!
Why don't you? We have a dark dystopian cyberpunk book coming out in April. It might also already be out. I don't rightfully remember when this is releasing, but it could be. And so much more. There will be alien contact, genetic mergings, people metamorphosing into different entities.
Gross.
That's coming. That's coming this year.
Kafka.
You're going to love it. You're going to love it. That's readspaceboy.com. Kelly, do you have anything to plug? Mouse? The podcat just walked across frame for the listener.
That's who I'll plug.
Yeah.
My cat Mouse. Yeah. He's very handsome.
He is. He's got that silver brown kind of hair.
He's got a mane.
Yeah. He's got real good mane action.
And pantaloons. He's got little pantaloons.
And he's very helpful for moving because he tells you don't need this. I'm gonna throw up on it. And then
what if I throw up on that?
He's a minimalist.
Well, he tries to throw up on things maximally.
Sure, yeah.
So he forces me to be a minimalist.
But this is the thing, is he doesn't want to throw up on stuff. He wants to throw up generally. And so there just happens to be things in the way all the time.
And that's my fault. That's my fault.
Yeah, you shouldn't have acquired goods and or services.
Have fewer things.
Yeah. For our next episode, we will be back and we're going to dip into the X-Files again because you know what? It's the right thing to do. We're going to be talking about the first X-Files episode directed by a woman. It might be the only one that was directed by a woman. I don't know that it was actually the only one, but it certainly took a while.
But I would not be surprised if it was.
You're going to love it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Plus, it's an episode that Gillian Anderson herself directed. The one and only.
I'm so excited.
It's great. I know for a fact that I have not seen this in so long that it will be a almost completely new watch for me.
When you said the title, I was like, that's not even ringing a bell.
Yeah. It's also late enough in the run, too. It kind of hits that point where a lot of late X-Files coincided with the late part of my high school / early college where I just wasn't watching TV in the same way that I had been when I was, 12, 13, 14, 15. So
plus, just like I watched reruns growing up. And so, of course, I've seen the early seasons more just by virtue of time.
Oh yeah. Well, in any time that I do a rewatch, you start from the beginning, and if you dip out eventually,
you don't finish.
You end up falling off around the same point every single time. You're like, oh yeah.
Season 6.
I also this is the thing that I have too, which is, and I'm sure this is going to come up with the X-Files, but it came up with my Star Trek: The Next Generation rewatch too. I get to a point late enough in it that I can see the end coming. And because I don't want to say goodbye / part ways with the characters, I will kind of just be like, I don't really need to watch this anymore. I know that there's going to be moving stuff that happens, but I don't want to be moved. I just want to enjoy that they'll forever be doing this thing that I like.
Yes. That's why it took me forever to finish Killing Eve. Because I was like, I don't want to end.
Yeah, I know. And plus, after Killing Eve is just killing, right?
You're so right. That's what happens the next morning. Got it. I was with you.
Yeah. All this and more on the next episode of Debut Buddies. Yo-ha.
Yo-ha.
Bye, buddies.
First is best, or first is worst.